So I think there's actually two things going on there. There's how do you market the unique property, but then how do you price a unique property if there's no comps?
Right. So, well, we run into that a lot, right?
Absolutely. We run into that a lot here in this market.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy if you've got a street that has all colonials on it, or an area that's, colonials, capes, or whatnot. But if you've got a unique property and maybe there are only, I don't know, a handful of those in a community, and those don't all sell in the same year. So what have we done?
Take that specific location.
That's right.
And see how it's performing against the rest of the market.
Right.
We're actually bringing out some truths, peel back the layers of all this fluff.
Shining the light on this industry as a whole. Maybe you should stay away from it.
Hi everybody, welcome to Real Estate Raw and Uncut. This is episode 102. I'm Byron Lazine, joined by Tim Beret. 102, right?
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Now that I just said that.
Radio station.
We keep doing the questions. We're getting questions in, which is cool.
I like the questions.
It takes the thinking out of the equation for us of coming up with the content.
That's an everyday occurrence for me.
Well, we did it for 100 episodes, so we need a few layups here. So this question this week actually came in from a consumer, buyer, seller, whatever. Sounds like at one point she was a seller, so not an agent like we've had the last two. And this came off of Facebook. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can check out our Facebook, following Seaport Real Estate Group. It's where we're posting these videos. If you're there, check us out on YouTube and subscribe up. So Terry Lightfoot.
Like Gordon's daughter?
I don't know.
You know
Is
Gordon?
it?
Am I dating myself? You know who Gordon Lightfoot is?
No, I have no idea.
Keep going.
Maybe there's some relation along the line there. But Terry writes, I'm fairly new to your videos. Have you ever done a video on unique properties and how to market them? So that's one part. And then she says, for instance, when writing up a comps report, my agent had a difficult time with my property. It is much larger than your typical 2-bed, 1-bath and has a rather large lot, over 1.5 acres. So I think there's actually two things going on there. There's how do you market the unique property, but then how do you price a unique property if there's no comps?
Right. So, well, we run into that a lot, right?
Absolutely. We run into that a lot here in this market. Yeah.
I mean, it's easy if you've got a street that has all colonials on it, or an area that's, colonials, capes, or whatnot. But if you've got a unique property and maybe there are only, I don't know, a handful of those in a community, and those don't all sell in the same year. So what have we done?
Take that specific location.
That's right.
And see how it's performing against the rest of the market.
Right. So I think that's exactly it. So you know that a specific street performs, let's say, 20% better than the market in any given year because you have sales that have taken place for 20 years back, and they all say that this is the spread. Right. So even though your property is unique, you're not going to beat those spreads by a significant amount. So we can start to get a range, but now you found out who your buyer is.
If you're on Main Street, we'll just call it Main Street, and that street has historically performed, when you go back in time, to your point, at 50% above the market of the town in which you're looking at. If that's the case, now, but you're the seller and you want 60% more than the market. So you basically want to potentially, beat the market, set a record. Maybe it would be a record on that street. What do you need to have in that property to do it?
Right, right.
I mean, you need to be really, fancied up.
The functionality of the property has to be there. It needs to, the high-end amenities. Yeah. They can't have any of the blemishes that the homeowners are immediately taking, the number down from. So and if it's that unique, and let's say you have a couple acres more than your typical property, well, can it be carved up? Can that lot be split? I mean, what's the highest and best use of your property?
If it's just a couple, we found in this market, and we'll just speak locally, that if there's a couple extra acres that are not usable, there's really not a lot of value to it.
So here in this area, so if you've got a building lot and then maybe you've got 3 excess acres,
Yeah.
those could be worth between $3,500 and $5,000 a piece for each extra acre.
Right.
Which everybody thinks, well, I've got an extra acre, so it's got to be another 80,000.
80, but you can't build on it. It's
Right.
really just about, does somebody want a compost pile or something? I don't know. I don't know what you do.
Or a compound.
Or a compound,
Yeah.
if you're going to clear the land. I mean, absolutely, there's people that want that privacy, but on your typical sale, I'm not seeing a huge increase on extra acreage. Shifting over to the first part of our question, how do you market these unique properties? You better have a strategic plan, the agent, the seller, if you're a FSBO, whatever, that is completely targeted and completely separate from the MLS.
That's right.
You're going to want to utilize MLS, but you're going to want to do, whether it's Facebook ads, these types of things that can target a certain demographic to get a unique property in front of the right buyer, because you're going to have to reach.
So price range too, because you mentioned demographic. So if you're looking on that street and you're saying, okay, that property, let's say it's 450,000. Well, if it's a move-up buyer, then you need to look back 30% lower and see who's selling. So maybe you target those sellers that are locally there that are 30%, 25 to 30% below. Go after them.
Terry's property, I think she said, was a 2-bedroom.
That's
Right?
Yeah.
So, listen, I know as an agent, I can't target somebody with a family or without a family in terms of my write-up on the MLS and this kind of thing. But a Facebook ad, a Google pay-per-click ad certainly can target the
That's right.
demographic. And if I'm marketing a 2-bedroom home, I'm not going to pay for ads to be, showing up in the news feed of somebody that's got 3 kids.
That's right.
Right? I'm going to be looking for a couple or a single person that doesn't have kids, because let's face it, 2 bedrooms isn't going to cut it.
And does your house, or all the bedrooms, both those bedrooms, are they upstairs, and do you have a set of stairs? So now you're getting rid of a certain demographic as well.
Absolutely.
Because if they're 75, 80 years old, and then maybe they can't use the stairs.
Right. You can eliminate, certain buyers, a certain buyer pool when you look at the property, and then come up with a strategic marketing plan for those buyers that are capable of purchasing, that would purchase. Maybe it's a second home. So, yeah.
But with that one too, so we heard a couple things. So she has excess acreage. Yeah, she's got 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So now you're thinking, well, maybe it's the person that's a little older that's going to be focusing on the 2-bedroom. But are those acres that you have, are those completely landscaped?
Right.
And do you, as a homeowner, are you going to be paying to have somebody do that work?
Do you
or
have
are
to
you going to be
maintain
out there? Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got a little. It's problem solving.
Problem solving. And you look at the whole, every property is uniquely different. How about that word unique? When they throw it in the description, what do you think of that? What do you think when an agent says unique property right off
I'm
the
thinking
rip?
functionally obsolescent. I'm thinking something's off.
I just had a seller ask me to go and put unique in the description, and
Do a quick query of that on
Right.
keywords.
yeah, look at the ones that come up when they're unique.
They've been on the market for a while usually.
Yeah, they're unique in the aspect that they don't sell. Is that-
Or their market is so much smaller.
I try to stay away from that word as often as I can, but that is what it is.
Your wife probably calls you unique.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm pretty unique. We'll see you guys next time. See ya.